Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So on today's video, I'm going to discuss with you whether or not you should be buying a real estate or a house in India. If you have made up your mind that I'm going to purchase real estate, what are some of the key and salient points that you should remember? And third and finally, how you should plan for your dream home. So this is the precise piece of information that I'm going to give you in a very practical manner. Why do I say that? Because I've had experience of purchasing real estate across 3 different states in India already. You can check some of my videos on the channel, and there are new real estate based videos that I'll be making and putting on this channel. So all the information that you are seeing on this video, it is highly practical. It has taken me years to aggregate this information. So please press the like button. And also, in case you are interested in learning about more practical investment oriented stuff, I teach courses on Wisdom Hatch, and these courses are live in nature. So these are very interactive and you can ask me your doubts, questions, etc. And so far we have received excellent feedback on the courses, and you can check more details in the description box. So let us kickstart our conversation, and I will speak in a very easy to understand point-wise format. So point number 1 or question number 1 is that whether or not you should even consider purchasing real estate. So we will keep the emotional discussion aside, but let us speak about practical finance points. And here the first thing that you need to understand is that you should definitely consider purchasing some real estate, maybe a piece of land or a house or a commercial property, only and only if your portfolio is big. It should not happen this way that your portfolio size in the stock market is only 1 lakh rupee and then you have taken a 1 crore rupee loan on buying a house. That type of a scenario is very detrimental to your financial health, and I will explain that more subsequently. But the first key message that you need to understand is that real estate is a wonderful investment if your portfolio size is big. The second key reason to purchase a real estate is that you are getting an excellent deal. For example, many a times you might see that a lot of people require money immediately, but their wealth is tied into real estate. So they want to sell the real estate quickly and go away. That is called as distressed sale. So if you are getting access to some distressed sale and if you can procure that piece of property, great for you. So definitely go and purchase it, even if you don't have massive wealth sitting with you. If you can get some loan, then definitely go and purchase such property simply because of the fact that you are getting a very good deal. Now, another way when you will be getting a very good deal is, and this is something that our parents also used to tell us, that you know what, you should definitely buy a home, because many a times when you are paying a rent, let's say that you are paying a rent of 50,000 rupees and you are paying an EMI on a home loan, which is let's say 50 lakh rupees. So you are paying equal EMI in both these circumstances. If both these things are somewhat equal, then it's better to just simply go and purchase that piece of property, because that property becomes free for you after a while. So why in fact get into that hassle of paying rent? And this formula used to work wonderfully well during our parents' time, when the rent of the houses used to be much greater than the EMI that they used to pay. But in our generation, that is not the case. So let me outline that by talking a little bit more about practical examples. For example, right now, if you go in Delhi or Mumbai, then what is typically happening is that for every 1 crore worth of investment in a property, you have to pay a rent of roughly 20 to 25,000. So let's pick an example that if I'm renting a place in Delhi and the total apartment cost is 4 crore rupee, then how much total rent I would be paying in 2022? So that would be roughly around 1 lakh rupee. Now how 1 lakh rupee? Simply because I have taken 4 crore. For every 1 crore, I have to pay around 20 to 25,000 rupee as rent. This is the usual rate. You go and do the scouting, you will easily be able to uncover this. So if you run the formula, this is what you will see, that you are getting to rent a place which is worth 4 crore at 1 lakh rupee a month. So the total rent that you are paying is roughly 12 lakh rupees a year, and this is on a 4 crore house. So if you divide, it will come out to be 3 point something as rental yield, and this is pre-tax. So post-tax rental yield will be less than somewhere around 3%. So which is really bad in metros right now. So this situation in 2022 looks really bad. But if we go to our parents' time, then this rental yield used to be much higher. So therefore our parents' logic of owning a place used to make a lot of sense. But coming back to the topic, if you can figure out some properties where this rental yield is good, where you are making sensible returns out of it, then maybe owning that piece of property might be a sensible thing. So just to break apart the formula, this is what it should look like, that your rental yield, I hope you understood the concept of rental yield, plus the appreciation of the property. This is usually not more than 2 to 3% a year as per the last 10 years data. If you aggregate both these things, then the total yield comes out to be around 6%. Now, if you can find better opportunity cost of your capital. Opportunity cost of capital means that you have an option of investing 1 crore rupee in a property here versus investing 1 crore rupee in some other asset class, for example, equities. Where do you think you can make more return? Then accordingly take a decision. Now this formula is not a standard formula that this number will forever come out to be around 6% only. It really depends from city to city. For example, if you are buying properties right now in Delhi or Mumbai, then this number comes out to be around 6%. But if you go to tier 2, tier 3 cities in India right now, then this number will be much, much higher. So you accordingly need to pick the deal. I'm just simply telling you the formula and you can contextualize the formula as per the property that you are buying. Setting standardized rules in real estate investing is really, really bad. So which brings us to the next related point, that many a times I've heard arguments from really young people that, you know what, Akshat, I'm making a salary of 1 lakh rupee and my wife is making a salary of 2 lakh rupees. And if we take a home loan EMI, and if my wife's salary can be paid in form of the EMI, that will take care of our kharcha there. And I will use my salary in terms of running our household expenses. Okay, awesome. But that is not a logic to buy real estate. Real estate investing is done as per the specific opportunity that you are getting. Just because one of the partner's salary can pay for the EMI is not a good enough logic to buy real estate, because what could happen is that one of the partners might lose their salary. There is firing from the job, a lot of negative things can happen. Then you are surviving on just one salary and that salary is going into paying your EMI. So it becomes a headache for you. So please don't get into these type of situations. Is there a financial formula that I can give you in order to make that assessment? The answer is yes. And that financial formula is called as 3-20-30-40 rule. So let me quickly explain that. Now there are multiple variants to this formula, but this formula according to me is the most sensible one. Please hear the entire logic and argument, only then refine this formula further as per your need. So let me quickly walk you through what the formula says. It says that 3 means 3x income of your family. So for example, let's say that your yearly family income is 10 lakh rupees. Then what is the maximum budget you have in order to purchase a house or a property? The maximum budget then comes out to be 3 times of 10 lakh rupees, that is 30 lakh rupees. Your usual response would be that, Akshat, 30 lakh rupees, what will you get? You will get like some really bad shop or this, that. We will never be able to purchase a house. Okay. So in that scenario, what you need to consider is that what type of stuff you can already sell. For example, if you have an existing house, probably you could sell that. For example, you have an ancestral land, probably you could sell that. For example, your parents want to move in with you and they want to sell their house. So all that mathematical computation needs to be done. But to cut the long story short, if you are purely working on salary, then please do not be over leveraged by expanding upon this number. For example, if you make it 10x or 20x, that okay, yearly income is 10 lakh rupees and I'm buying a property of 1 crore rupee. That can prove quite disastrous, especially if you don't get possession of the house or if there is some legal dispute that has erupted of the land or building that you have purchased, etc. etc. Second key part of the formula is that usually you should prefer taking around 20-year loan period. So this is fairly straightforward. There are different mathematical computations that have gone into this, but 20-year home loan period is good. Third key thing, and this is very, very important, that your EMI payment should not exceed 30% of your entire salary. For example, if you are making a salary of 1 lakh rupee, then please do not take a loan where your EMI outflow becomes more than 30,000 rupees. Final point is that please have the capability of doing a 40% down payment on a property. For example, if you are purchasing a 1 crore rupee property, then you should have the liquidity of paying 40 lakh rupees immediately as a down payment before you take possession of that property. Whether or not you should be paying that 40 lakh rupees as a down payment, not a down payment, it depends on a host of different factors. But by using this formula, you will be able to financially ascertain whether purchasing a real estate from a financial viewpoint, does it make sense or does it not make sense depending on your current financial circumstances. Now, many of you would be hearing this and would get deeply depressed that, you know what, we have not been able to save that much money. We will never be able to own a house. No, I am just telling you what financial facts are. Beyond this, if you want to take a leverage of 100x also, I can't do anything. That I make a salary of 1 lakh rupee a year and I want to buy a property at 1 crore. So you tell me whether that is sensible or not. I'm just simply presenting sensible facts. So now, hopefully point number 1 gave you clarity whether you should be owning a real estate / house or not. Let's move on to point number 2. That let's say that you have made up your mind that okay, fine, financially it makes sense for me to buy a house. What comes next? Then you need to make a call whether you should be building a house yourself or you should go to a builder and buy a house from him or her. Okay, so this is a very interesting conversation and I will give you some very quick insights here. So first and foremost, if you are going via the builder route, that you are contacting a builder and telling them that, hey, can you show me some properties? I want to buy some property, this, that. What is the amount of money that you will lose? You will easily lose 25-30% of your money. Now, maybe using the word lose is incorrect because the builder needs to keep his or her profit margin. But even if you contact best of the builders, you will at least lose 25 to 30% of the money that you could have saved by constructing the house yourself. So this is the first critical point that you need to understand. Now you might be tempted to say that, okay, fine, if I can save 25% of my money by constructing my house myself, then why should I not do it? My parents also did it. A lot of other people that I know have also did it. So why should I not be doing that? This seems like a no-brainer. No, it is not no-brainer because now our life has become very, very hectic. You might be going from office from morning to evening. Do you have the time to construct a house? Number two, are you okay with understanding the local laws? Are you okay in terms of doing the legwork to get permissions and whatnot? This point becomes especially true if you are purchasing a property outside your city. For example, right now I'm in Goa and so many of you have contacted me. My friends have contacted me that Akshat, that help us buy a villa. In fact, tell us a piece of land. We will go and purchase that land and we will construct a villa ourselves. Okay, good luck doing that because there are small things that you might not know of. A classic case in point is that there is a lot of garbage picking problem in Goa. If you go and construct a villa in some isolated land, and if the garbage people do not show up to your villa, you can construct a 10 crore villa and you will not even get someone to collect your garbage. Then what you will have to do, you will have to pick up your Mercedes, put your garbage in your Mercedes, then go and dump it out on the main road. So all these are small points that you must understand before making the decision of purchasing it from a builder or constructing your house on your own. Practical advice here will be that if you can research on your own, if you're good with paperwork, you are okay doing that legwork, then saving 20-25% of your money by doing your own property makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, simply go with builders. And one very important quick note, that will you get loan in order to buy a flat? The answer is yes. Will you get loan in terms of buying a land? The answer is yes. Will you get loan in terms of doing construction on that land? The answer again is yes. So you can easily get loans for all these three options. Now, depending on your life circumstances, you can pick an option either to save money or either to save hassle by going with a builder. So now comes point number 3. You would say that, okay, Akshat, fine, I don't want to save my 25% money. I will go with a builder. Now, am I completely free if I just pick a good builder? Because I'll just Google reviews for Falana Dhimka builder in Mumbai and I will take a look at their 5 project, look at their 5-star rating and I will go and invest my money. Please don't do that. That is a horrible idea. Okay, so let me break that apart. Point number 1, reputed builder or going with a reputed builder is a great thing. No problem with that. But here is the real problem with going with really good builders also. That good builders do their initial few projects really well. And after their few initial projects are done really well, once they have made their name in the market, what they do is that they mess up with people. A classic case in point is, okay, I will not take the names of the builder because then I will get personally sued. You guys don't even press the like button when I make the videos and I keep getting sued. But seriously, like the video. This is a very insightful point that I will tell you, that builders, initially they create their market value. And once the market value is created, their projects get sold off the shelf, right at the construction stage itself. Please do your own inspection. Please don't just simply go by the builder's reputation. That is one of the worst things that you will do. And a lot of my friends have been entrapped into builders' trap by undertaking such projects. I have seen few of the biggest builders in Goa right now. Initially, they constructed wonderful properties, absolutely amazing properties. But by the time they got to their 4th or 5th project, the quality of construction went down. There was a lot of hassle. They started squeezing margin at every single instance. While I can't save you entirely from this game, what I will typically tell is this, that please go visit the property under construction. Second key point, that please buy a property which is at least 50% complete. You might have to pay some premium. It is completely okay. Do that. It's not end of the world. But please don't buy a property which is not at least 40-50% completed. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand what you are getting into. Please don't simply go by the fact that the builder is RERA registered. He has created some floor plans and exactly what he or she is telling me on WhatsApp, that is exactly how my property is going to turn out. No, almost 80-90% of the times that is not the case. house. Another related insightful point that you must understand is that please check the quality of construction. Now you might say that Akshat, how do I check the quality of construction? Okay, this is what you do. You go find a contractor, not a builder. Find an independent contractor, pay him a little bit of consultation charges. He might charge maybe 10-15,000 rupees for a day. Go take that contractor on the construction site and ask them whether this piece of flat or whether this piece of villa is being constructed properly or not, and what does he or she have to say about the quality of construction. You and I as normal people will not be able to figure out the quality of construction, but just by paying someone 10-15,000 rupees, you will get an estimate of how good the construction quality is. So now comes the next question, where should you buy the property? Okay, so this is fairly simple, that number one, you need to go to the previous formula that I was telling you about, that go check the rental yield. If you are getting some distressed sales, great, go purchase that property. You might be making a very sound investment. Otherwise, if you need a general rule, then pick a city where you will be living long term. So it's completely okay to buy a property there. Otherwise, just go to tier 2, tier 3 city from an investment point of view. An important consideration to keep in mind is the market cycle first and foremost, because real estate market cycle is fairly long. So take a look at this chart. You will see that the real estate prices kept going down and down and down for almost the last 1 decade. Now they have started to come up. So I'm hopeful that now the real estate cycle will recover. So great time to be purchasing properties right now. So this is point 1. Point 2, when you are purchasing properties, my personal advice will be don't buy super expensive properties. Now the definition of expensive will differ from person to person. But given the situation or the world where we live now, then usually try to purchase properties in smaller blocks. For example, less than 2 CR is considered to be a decent property now. This allows you to resell the property fairly quickly. If you buy like a 10 crore property, then you will have a hard time moving that property. Now comes the last point that, hey Akshat, what is even the point of getting into this hassle? You have taught so many points and it is really confusing me, this, that. So number one, finance is complicated. If you're just looking at 1 minute reels and whatnot and making a decision whether you buy a property or a stock, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're destructing your own wealth. This is point 1. The reason why you should be owning real estate is that it helps you out a lot in terms of your tax planning. This is point 1. It helps you out a lot in terms of preserving your wealth. For example, a classic case in point is that if you keep your money in the bank account, it decays with time. Every year you are witnessing that the INR is going down by 4 or 5% compared to US dollar. Now, what about property? Would a good property get destructed at any point in time? The answer is no, because it is a hard asset. It is a wealth protection asset. The real value of a property keeps going up with time. Yes, there will be periods when a property will not give you very high returns and there can be a stagnation period, no doubt about that, but it preserves your wealth, very similar to gold. The real value of gold has not gone down. Similarly, a real value of a good property has not gone down. But the idea there is that you should have access to land. If you're just buying stacked up buildings or a flat in some building, then it might or might not give you enough returns. I hope you enjoyed this practical conversation. Let me know in the comment box, are you planning to buy a house? Did you find these tips and strategies to be useful? And I will make a part 2, which is around buying a car and whether or not you should be buying a car. Let me know if you would want me to make that video. And you can check this video where I have talked about one of my commercial properties. You will get a better idea about buying commercial properties.